Hello and welcome to the first learning video of GJ Management Consultants. Over the last couple of days, we have been issuing multiple shots that attempts to resolve some of the common business challenges and how we can resolve those challenges using the GJ methodology. We thought that it's imperative for us an appropriate time to launch one of the learning series, and that's specifically to an area which is the common word nowadays, artificial intelligence. As we know that artificial intelligence is something which is going to overtake all the existing technology, and specifically with the latest uh, agentic AI solution that we have, it's going to replace all the monotonous work, repetitive work, and definitely with the intent that all the decision making will be embedded in the same solution. So we thought that let's take an attempt and create a video with a intention that we should able to give quick update starting from that how AI has evolved and how AI is going to shape up in the coming years. So this video attempts to give you a clear understanding, and this can be used as a video for the beginners as well who have very limited understanding of the AI. So our attempt is that we are going to take you a couple of slides that explain that how we have come up to the stage of artificial intelligence, what is the evolution journey of AI, and then how AI in current world scenario is going to resolve much of the complex problem with a click of button. So let's start, and happy learning. So in this presentation, which runs about close to 20-25 minutes, we are going to give you a quick overview about that what is artificial intelligence all about, how it has evolved over last couple of years or a decade, what is the concept of machine learning, deep learning. Then definitely we'll touch base upon the two buzzwords which are very common nowadays, generative AI and agentic AI. We'll try to give you a quick comparative analysis that how traditional automation was there, and then when we compare to AI where we are, and then we'll take an attempt to give you a case study that showcase that how AI has resolved some of the complex problem uh, of our logistic industry, and then what is the future of the AI and automation, and what are some of the key takeaways that we have got by implementation of the AI in the logistic industry. Moving ahead. Okay, so what we are going to do in this slide, we'll quickly take an attempt to give you a brief overview of what is artificial intelligence all about, and then how it has been as compared to the earlier rule-based logic. So we'll spend a couple of minutes to define the artificial intelligence. So this is largely for the audience who are new to the artificial intelligence concept. So if you just compare artificial intelligence with a normal human brain, so as we know that we do a work, when we do a work, we execute a work and then we apply a logic, we apply our brain to take the decision. Think about a situation wherein all the decision, all the logical thinking is being done by a machine. So artificial intelligence is a concept whereby the logical thinking has been embedded through regular program enhancement, regular machine learning concept, and it has been equipped to make the machine in such a way that it can simulate and take the decision based on the simulation. And what if scenario, what if scenario, all those have been embedded clearly in the artificial intelligence concept, so that all the decisions can be taken by the machine and eliminate the human involvement. And objective is that how we can eliminate the normal routine work, the decisions which require small understanding and capabilities. We'll embed all those capabilities and decision making logics to machine and make them in such a way that they can take decisions on behalf of the human. Now if we compare this with where we were uh, in let's say 10 years before, or let's say 12 to 10 to 15 years before, so where were we earlier? Earlier, the logics were there, but those logics were basis the historical data. We understand the system, we create the logics in the system on the basis of rules. If this happen, this is the decision. If this will the action item, then this has to be done. So which means we were restricting the machine to take the decisions basis the limited information that is available, whether it is the past historical data that has provided this information, or maybe the future related information that we can anticipate and give that logic to the particular machine. But what we were exactly doing, we were limiting the machine capability to work upon basis the logic that has been given. So which means that machine was dependent upon the logic and was not capable to take its own decision. So in case, take an example, let's we have given a two scenarios to machine to take action upon. So if those two scenarios are available, then machine definitely will take a decision. But if let's say third scenario come, then what will happen? The decision cannot be taken and machine would stop working. This is a typical thought of concept that RPA technologies was working on. When we were like giving the instructions to the machine to work upon, and then once we have given the instruction, we expect the machine to act on the same way. But in case the exceptions are coming, then it halt and it do not do any processing. And hence, definitely we were, or let's say our technology, our scientists, they were curious that how we can able to resolve these issues. And then this kind of logical thinking, which gives us a kind of a scenario that all the logical thinking decisions can be taken by machine themselves. This artificial intelligence has taken a leap forward in the technology driven decisions, and hence RPA slowly got replaced with the new age technologies, and AI has now becoming the future. Okay, now in this slide we'll dig a big deep and try to figure out that what are the various subsets and what are the supersets of artificial intelligence. So as we have mentioned in the earlier slide, that artificial intelligence aimed at making the machine capable of taking the decisions and acting accordingly. If we look at it, what has happened over the last couple of years, or last, let's say, 10 years or so, that it has evolved. So artificial intelligence is a suite. It's a suite, and it's a suite of two basic concepts. So it's the suite of machine learning revolution, and then definitely deep learning and neural network. So what is machine learning? So if I have to describe the entire concept of artificial intelligence is a superset. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So which means superset is artificial intelligence followed by machine learning and then the deep learning. So take an example. We have an artificial intelligence scenario. Let's say we have a chatbot, we have or let's say we have a Gemini, or let's say we have Siri. These are all like the enabled software available, or let's say technology available, which has been equipped with the latest AI technologies. All the logics has been compiled up, orchestrated, and then we have created the AI driven solution. But underlying the AI driven solution, the concept of machine learning is there, which means that machine has been made to learn the multiple scenarios basis the past historical trend. It has been equipped to make sure that whenever a new scenario come, machine should adopt that, and instead of being taking a depending upon the human, it can self learn and then create a logic itself, so that in the future when that same scenario come, machine knows exactly what to do. And then definitely underlying the machine learning, it has a concept of deep learning in the neural network. So machine learning is, if I try to compare it with a scenario, let's say we have a doctor degree, and within that doctor degree we have internal medicines, and within that internal medicines we have multiple streams, like we have to go for either the antibiotics kind of medicines or painkiller kind of medicines. So consider this as a situation and then try to complement this with the current AI scenarios. So AI is kind of the MBBS, wherein we need to have everything, make sure that it's working with us. And take machine learning as the internal medicine, wherein someone is working specifically on internal specific medicines area, and then deep learning as the multiple areas. You can say that then somebody has to work on the antibiotics, or somebody has to work on the painkillers. So it's a huge network, deep learning, machine learning, and then the artificial intelligence. This is a kind of the simple schema of the things, so that when a user works upon, he should not be confused with the multiple words that are available, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, or deep learning. You should be clear that these concepts are interrelated and interwoven in such a way that artificial intelligence is the parent, then we have a child in the form of the machine learning, and then we have another child below machine learning, which is the deep learning. So all the GPUs, all the modeling is being done through the deep learning, which is being make sure that machine should learn, and all those modeling is learned by the machine learning. And once machine learn that model, it equipped itself, and then definitely decision making is enabled with the help of the proper orchestration and creating a package. This is which a solution can be worked upon. So we have artificial intelligence, which is complemented by machine learning program. Machine learning work to the concept of the deep learning and the neural network. So this will give you a quick understanding of how exactly these themes are interrelated. The attempt of this video is to give you overview and not the technical understanding of the artificial intelligence and the concept. So with this, I think our users would be able to appreciate and comprehend the exact meaning of the artificial intelligence, machine revolution, and deep learning. Okay, so in the last slide, we tried to explain the three concepts: artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the deep learning. So I thought it's appropriate to give you a quick comparative analysis to make the understanding bit more clear that how these are interrelated, but still they are different in the logical thinking and overall scheme of things. So as we mentioned that AI by definition is the broad field of the smart machines. Machine learning actually is the algorithm learning from the data. So which means that if we have clean data, comprehensive data, and data that helps us to take the decision, that is the key for the machine learning to work upon. And then deep learning is a neural network learning complex pattern, because multiple scenarios are there and we have to make those scenarios being embedded in the logical thinking, so that instead of we working upon through multiple scenarios, we can build upon those scenarios in such a way so that we can eliminate the human efforts. And if you can list subset of AI is none. AI is a parent, and then machine learning has a machine learning has a parent of AI, and deep learning has a parent of machine learning. Data need, if you look at it, so if you look at it, the data requirement is very high, because in machine learning, in the deep learning, we have to have the smallest to smallest intricacies to be embedded in such a way that our logic should not fail. So accuracy of data is very high in the deep learning, because this is the logical engine wherein we build all the logic. All this logic is being learned by machine learning. So which means that if we have the huge data precision, that data precision will help us to bring create the logic. This is deep learning, which can then be consumed by the machine learning to interpret those data, and then they can take the decision basis that. And once that is being done, that can be packaged across the artificial intelligence. So which means that the relevance of data is not that much important as far as artificial as a parent is concerned, but because the all the logical thinking and reasoning has been becoming machine learning and deep learning, and hence the dependency is largely upon the deep learning and machine learning for the accurate data. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, it's like the final consumption of the data to bring the results. So which means that if we have accurate data available at the bottom layer, then definitely the importance of data and the relevance of data is not that much important at the top layer. If you look at the examples here, so chatbot expert system, as I mentioned in my last slide, that these are the package solution that helps us to take the decision. Below that, we have a decision tree in the form of the machine learning, and then some of the CNNs and transfer that helps us to create those logic in the machines. So I think with this, we have explained clearly the concept of the three broad terms: artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So as I mentioned in the example, so take AI is the entire field of medicine. Machine learning is specific like internal medicine. Deep learning is a super special like cardiology within the internal medicine, or looking at some of the specialty in the painkiller stream of studies, or the antibiotic stream of studies. So I think the attempt is to make clear the three concepts, because normally users try to confuse themselves when they try to use the artificial intelligence, and then they think that these are three different technologies altogether. But in reality, these three are not different technologies. They are three different concepts that have been embedded together to create the final output in a form of the machines, in the form of the solution that is being known as the artificial intelligence solution. Thank you. Okay. Moving forward now, so we have now enough understanding about the basic concept of the artificial intelligence. Nowadays, what's happening that a lot of people are still confused in the two broad categories, because artificial intelligence has now been prefixed with the two big terms: generative AI, generative artificial intelligence, and then agentic AI, agentic artificial intelligence. So in this slide, we'll try to explain that what these two terms are, so that we are clear that what is generative AI and how it is different from the agentic AI. So first we'll focus upon generative AI. Now, in the past, as we discussed, and in fact, in this couple of previous slides, as I mentioned, that what was happening before the AI era. So before the AI era, we were dependent upon the rules. We created those rules in the system and then ask our system to work upon those rules. And then come with the concept of the artificial intelligence. But over all these periods, artificial intelligence was primarily looked as a kind of the concept that helps us to provide the insights on the data. But as we evolved, we found that there is another thought or another information that we can use basis the AI that help us to work upon and take the decision basis the text, which we normally call as large language models, LLM models. So think of a situation wherein we have received a scrambled text, or we have received unstructured data. We normally got confused with the concept that how we have to use that data, because in the rule-based scenarios, all this was happening basically data structure. If data structure is not there, then we could not able to take the decision. But now with the help of the agentic AI, in the generative AI, we can take the decision, because large language models are created in such a way that they can extract the information basis the unstructured data, interpret that information, and provide the solution basis that. So taking an example of chatbots, or taking an example of a generative AI solution that we have embedded in a mail system. We received this scrambled mail without a logic. We have received some unstructured data, and we were asked to work upon that. Think of a situation if that data has to be worked upon the human. Human has to first look at the data, understand the data, figure out that what that this data requires, and then work upon to create a solution. But with the generative AI, what has been done, the coding has been done in such a way, the large language model has been coded in such a way that they have been trained over the past couple of years, and this is the regular interactions that they are having with the system. The one common term that we come across is prompt, that we know that prompt engineers are nowadays very much common. So what exactly prompt means? Prompt means giving a kind of instructions to the generative AI to provide a kind of the output that we want. So which means that these prompt are the basic elements that help us to design the generative AI. So all these generative AI has been created basis the data modeling. So data modeling were there. They help you design such a system basis the multiple what if scenario, and they have been trained over the period of time. They've learned over the period of time, so that once they understand the exact information that is being designed, they will give you the result. So all these prompts that we provide to the system, those are kind of the enablers for generative AI to work upon. So generative AI solution is largely work upon the large language model, and they worked on the unstructured data, but they are not capable enough to work upon the decisions. Now, so for example, I have got a mail. I have got a mail, and basis that I can create a reply. But how that reply has to be, of let's say if I no, let's say if I sent that reply, and then if I receive another reply from the customer asking some more information, then how whether that information needs to be provided or not to that customer or not, that decision making is not available in the generative AI. So which means generative AI is definitely is a step forward toward the artificial intelligence, where it can help to take the information from the unstructured data, and instead of somebody working upon that unstructured data, generative AI is capable of taking that decision and create a kind of an output. But what if that output needs to be taken and action further upon? Here comes the next concept that we talk about, which is the agentic AI. So agentic AI is kind of a revolution in the field of the artificial intelligence. So which means as I'm talking to you, if what happened that my brain thought process is being mapped in such a way that artificial intelligence create a program solution, and what the decision I have to, for example, as I'm running this slide, at what point in time I have to click on the next, at what point in time I have click on the highlighter, and what at what point of time I need to make sure that this highlighter needs to be reflected on some of the things. All this logic has been created in such a way so that agentic AI is acting as an independent agent. So if you bifurcate the agentic AI, if you look at the agentic AI as a term, it's an agent. So which means that agentic AI is a concept whereby we have an independent AI agent. So instead of some human being working upon it, AI agent is working upon it, and hence it is called the agentic AI. So all the decision making is being done by the agentic AI. All the, for example, if let's say we have an invoice, we have received that invoice, the scanning has been done, we have extracted the information from the scanner. Now once we extracted the information of the scanner, it may so happen that some fields are not available. Now whether we stop our logic there and ask the human to come in and take a decision, Instead of that, what we'll do, we'll create an agent. The moment the exceptions come, agent will immediately trigger a kind of action item either to the sending center of the information or to the supplier, or send the information to the help desk. So instead of somebody actually stuck at that particular situation, the agentic AI will take an action. So instead of getting stuck, the action will be taken, and then definitely necessary solution will be worked upon. So it it stops all the breakages, I would say. It stops all the breakages, all the exception handling, which was earlier main cause for the systems to not work upon efficiently. The agentic AI solution helps to done away with all those exception handling, because agentic AI or agents of AI has been equipped to take the decision basis the information that has been provided to them. So they can act upon the exception, and they can share that work upon the exception and make those exception as a kind of routine work, and share that outcome to the next processor in the entire value. So generative AI and cognitive AI, and then we have the agentic AI. So generative AI has been introduced with the concept of the large language model to work upon the unstructured data, but leap forward to it, or next step to the agentic AI, which is capable of taking the decisions independently, and instead of being working upon and halting the entire system, they can take a decision, and for only those exceptions which are very very rare, for those they have to actually introduce the concept of human in the loop, which we normally called as HIML, human in the loop concept that has been worked upon, and that is for the exceptions only, and not for the general data. So agentic AI is a kind of a revolution, and all the companies are working bring to create the solution on the basis of agentic AI. And believe you me, this is a new era, and agentic AI is going to be the new future. I'm not sure how technology is going to evolve in the future and what we are going to see in the future. But at this point of time, agentic AI is a differentiator, and the industry which adopt the agentic AI solution definitely would be at edge at this point. Thank you. Okay. Now, I think till now we were talking about the various elements of artificial intelligence, and I think I have made an attempt to make it clear that what is artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, followed by the agentic AI, and the generative AI. So this in this slide we'll quickly give a quick snapshot that how my traditional rule works, and the machine concepts was different from the nowadays artificial intelligence. So largely there are three differences in terms of the traditional automation versus the AI. So traditional automation follows a static logic. So once logic has been created in the system, that is something which is being hard coded in the system, and they have to work on those logics only. However, compared to that, AI adapts dynamically through experiences. It self-learn system whereby all the exceptions can be learned, and in the future, if that exception comes again, that can be immediately taken upon. So which means that static versus dynamic. This is the first differentiator. Second, all system grow smarter with more data, but automation remains fixed. So which means that once we have created the automation in the RPA solution, it will remain fixed. But let's say if we have more data to work upon, that will help us to take a decision basis the artificial intelligence. So instead of taking the decision, RPA was stuck wherever any new scenario would come. But artificial intelligence is much forward than that. It can take decision independently. This is the learning models and the self-learning enablement. And lastly, AI enables prediction, personalization, and real-time optimization. Unlike the traditional RPA solution, which was a fixed solution which was created, and it can be worked upon and reconfigured only in case we need to enhance the solution to include some more exception. So it's a not self-learning kind of model, but a static model. So static versus dynamic is the key differentiator with the new AI. Now, in next slide, we'll try to explain how we can use the agentic AI solution and the generative AI solution in one of the logistics problem, wherein we got one of the logistic problem from one of the client, and how we worked upon to create a solution. This is the artificial intelligence. So we'll go to the next slide then. Okay. Now, in this slide, we will try to explain some of the common challenges, not some of the common, one of the biggest challenge that logistic industry was having, and then how we have created a solution, what approach otherwise would have been adopted if AI solution is not there. the traditional ways of working, and then how we have introduced the AI solution to it, and what outcomes it has delivered. So, so basically, we have one client which was a global logistic client, and the main challenge was that it could not able to control the way it has to configure its entire delivery ecosystem, uh, of delivery ecosystem plus the consumption of fuels and load balancing. It was not organized in such a way, and it was kind of a nightmare for the client, because he could not able to the client could not able to control the consumption of the fuel usage. It cannot able to control the optimum utilization of the warehouse capabilities, because logistics in terms of providing the delivery to the customers, getting the stock from the one warehouse to the other warehouse, all these configurations and all this uh, all this ecosystem was not well organized, and because of that, client was making huge losses, I would say, and inefficiencies was already there in the system, and because of it, the client was having a lot of the customer feedbacks, negative feedbacks, customer complaints. So client was really not clear that how this can be taken, we can create a solution and how it can be worked upon. So we stepped in and we tried to diagnose the problem the way we normally do it in the GJ management consultant. In GJ management as consultants, we have a focus on diagnostic approach. We diagnose the problem, intersect the problem, figure out the areas of the concern. We break the entire problem into multiple components, and basis that we take a decision that how all those problems area can be worked upon. So what we did here. So what we have actually diagnosed that the ecosystem of the logistics were basically a rule based, right? Which means that they have created some rules in the past, and that was being done and managed in the way it was designed. So which means we know that as we move forward, every day is a new scenario for the customers. Every day is a new thought process that comes in. And if we are working with the old primitive rule based system, definitely all these issues are going to come. So they were having rule-based system wherein they were not able to manage the exceptions. For example, if they have multiple warehouses for the customer, they need to dispatch the goods from single parent warehouse to multiple dispatch locations, and our program was only configured to one kind of a scenario, then definitely the solution is not going to work upon it. So what will happen in such situation? They have received the inventory from the customer, stock that inventory in their warehouse, but dispatch is not happening, which means that they themselves are incurring the higher warehousing cost, and the client is also not happy because the customers to which they were supposed to get the send the delivery, they are waiting for the exact delivery because delivery has to done to the multiple location, and hence client has been organized a kind of a business a revenue model with with their customer in such a way that they will be built upon the consumption of the fuel. And in this case, if they have to dispatch the goods to the multiple location, their fuel consumption is going to get increased, but they have created a contract basis the single location. So which means that since they have a single location, they have not created a billing proper contract, and hence they have undervalued the contract. But at the end of the day, they were used to spend huge cost because they have to manage the multiple location. Because agreement was such a way that client said that I need my dispatch to the locations to which I design, and they have created the one-to-one kind of the contract from one location to one location. But it was never mentioned that what if the multiple locations would come in, and our system were not designed in such a way that they could handle the multiple location. So what we then did. So first of all, we said that okay, now we have a problem with us. We know that this problem is there because we have been using the systems which are rule based. First of all, we need to get rid of the system, because this is a problem that has come to you, and this is not a problem that is applicable to one client. In future, definitely your other clients will have this similar kind of problems. So why not think of a solution that is not going to work on this particular, because real transformation is not about case based, it's about entire method of changing the ways of working. So we said we have to entirely change the ways of working rather than worked upon this as an exception solution. We should not be working upon a fix for a particular problem. We should work upon a solution that is going to transform the ways we are going to do the business. So introduce the entire concept of AI. We bring in the entire logics and algorithm in such a way. We have integrated the entire platforms, entire technology in such a way that each technology complement each other. The output of one technology is being received by the other technology at a very quick pace. So instead of waiting to get the approval mechanisms or waiting for someone to trigger the kind of output from the one system to get the trigger in the another system, the entire AI logic has been created in such a way that it is working in a seamless manner. So client himself can able to look everything on his dashboard, so where its inventory is, at which point of location it has reached, how much time it is going to take for the logistic company to transfer that particular inventory from the parent warehouse to multiple location at which clients demands those to be given. So all these have been configured in such a way that client could able to access every information from his own tab or the laptop. So this implementation took close to 1 year for us to implement. In the interim solution, we kind of created a small kind of the solutions that help the client to pacify their current concerns. But this implementation took us 1 year. But post it got implemented, it gave very kind of a satisfactory satisfaction to the clients, and they were now happy. And in fact, they give reference to multiple other customers, and our this logistic company got more clients basis their reference from that customer. So this is the power of the AI. So we bring the solution, we change the method of working, we adopt the solution, and we bring the tangible outcome, which give the benefit to the client, and definitely which give the benefit to the customers of the client. So what happened actually after we have delivered this result? So delivery time reduced by 25%. So which means that earlier the one-to-one location was the only solution. Now even with the one-to-multiple location, our delivery time actually reduced by 25%. Fuel efficiency improved because of instead of waiting for a particular go ahead and then not sure that which direction we have to go. So we know that at what location we have to deliver the good. So instead of we waiting, we make sure that our fuel has been available at right point in time with the right location, so that we can get it filled at that particular location. On time shipment rose from 82% to 96%, which means that earlier we were handling the multiple queries. Just we were having so the client was having close to 100 people to manage the logistics related concerns, over 100 people rather. But with this solution in place, staff itself got reduced by 50%, which means that only 50% were there, and that to handle so that minimum staff is required because client is having the multiple location. So just to make sure that cover the all the location, multiple system, and definitely some of the problem needs at this point in time also some of the human intervention, and hence the staffing got reduced from more than 100 to less than 50, which means that the cost of running the operations got reduced tremendously. So what this mean for the client? So the solution scaled across regions, evolving the new data, key hallmark of the AI of the traditional automation. So this is the power of the AI, and this is how we are working in the GJ Management Consultant to provide end-to-end solution. So though we are new in the entire AI driven solution, but our experiences enable us to grow further. And this is the experience that we carry, which help us to give these kind of the repetitive solution to to some of the clients whom we are already working upon, and definitely to the clients who we get as we progress in this journey. And we are going to provide the similar kind of solutions to our upcoming and the existing clients. Thank you. Okay. So as we have come about the come to the end of this slide, so let us quickly talk about some of the future of the AI and the key takeaways from this session. So as we see that future of AI and automation, uh, future automation will be intelligent, and this is what we want to be: context aware and empathetic, augmenting rather than replacing the human work, which means that we are not going to replace the human, we are making it complementing, making more empathetic, so that decisions can be taken at a quick pace rather than the pace at which we were used to take the decision before the AI era. The responsible AI governance ensure transparency, fairness, and the long-term value. I think the most common apprehension that most industry has is that the AI solution would have challenges in terms of the data governance and making sure that data challenges and data securities are there. But I think with all the tool sets that we have with us, and the technology that is with us, so I think a lot of governance is there on the AI driven outputs, and then definitely data security challenges has been taken care of. So responsible AI solution make sure that our data is secure and it has been properly governed, so that there should be no leakage of the information or sensitive information to outside world. making sure that we should have the adaptive AI with the outputs and competitors to agility. And our objective is that the AI should deliver the data-driven insights to take and enable the organization to take valued, informed decision, and definitely to grow their output. Some of the key takeaways which we would want to highlight in this presentation is that AI evolves from rule-following the system to self-learning entities. Unlike traditional automation, AI thrives on adaptability, data, and prediction. The logistic case example simply shows us that how we could be able to amplify the AI solution to bring efficiencies to the entire ecosystem. And then future of the AI belongs to the AI-driven set of information, which means that there's a responsibility on the AI as well to make sure that data security in place, and then we have a proper governance mechanism to ensure that our data is being secured and there is no leakage of the information. Thank you. Okay, so thank you, audience, for watching this video. Uh, we are uh, we are very much interested to have your comments so that we can able to understand some of the key concerns that you are having, and we are there to support you, help you to provide more informative video to answers your queries. So have more such videos, please write back to us in the comment section, and please help us to provide your feedback. Please subscribe our channel. I would request to subscribe our channel, like this video, share this video so that it should reach to the maximum people. If you subscribe our channel and click on the notification button, you will come to more information about similar kind of video that we're going to share with you. I request all the audience to share their valuable feedback so how we can make more these kind of the videos to enable and enhance your knowledge. So I am Gurvinder Singh Rajpal, managing partner of GJ Management Consultants, and we work with the theme that we have to turn every strategy into success. Thank you for all your support and patience to watch this video.